they're escaping because some wars and very bad situations for them. Of course, the first reception is done by some relief organizations like Red Cross, with the cooperation with other institutions and authorities. They welcome the refugees and see how to organize all this challenge. Our goal is the rapid integration for them all to the German labor market, because social life, education background, all this are very big challenges for this situation. And we have an assessment. This is an internet assessment, online assessment, done for refugees with a special TAN, like online banking. This is not, first of all, not to compare with the psychological tests or characteristics tests. This is an assessment for social competence or social skills related to the position and education of this person. This is very important, not to compare with the psychological tests. First of all, as you know, we have a pyramid that's called Maslow's pyramid, and for the integration, what is the most important point? Of course, in the first fundament is soft skills, social competence, language, vocational skills, career path, integration, and the social life, of course. This is lovely child falling down 4,000 steps approximately to learn to walk, and this is very, very high resilience. And the background of this social competence to check, because discovering natural latent abilities, they are born by nature of a human being, and that means we have to notice it and we have to develop it. Therefore, the assessment is very important to notice the social competence, and further on of the results, we recommend for some training and coaching sessions and educational issues, of course. Let's see what happened. There are a lot of overcoming traumatic events because of the escape, and people have to understand the norms in the receiving country, because a very different culture, religions. If you imagine the people coming from North Africa and some part of Syria, they are different religion, and they don't know the culture. So this is a very important point. And of course, the vocational skills, orientation, how it works in the German labor market. No idea about that. This is a big challenge of our society and of the people. Because if you remember, just pointed out, there are a lot of immigrants have been 60 years to Europe, to especially Germany, and nobody was very prepared for these immigrations because they needed some language skills, they needed some cultural skills and educations. So this is another big issue, challenge, because these people are refugees escaping from war, and therefore INSCA is an assessment what can answer this challenge and questions. And let me tell you something about the scientific background and development perspectives, because it is a continuous development of this procedure, of this tool. And this is just only one part of a DNLA discovering natural latent abilities tools, because we have management tools, we have team development tools, and other things. The INSCA, it is an integration through social competence in the labor market. We call that. And we believe everybody has a potential. These are born social skills. We have to develop, we have to notice all this. And therefore, the background of this DNLA-based research is conducted to the Max Planck Institute in Munich. If you heard about these names, I'm sure Professor Dr. Brengelmann and Strasser, Wolfgang Strasser. What we do, there are valid, objective, reliable assessment of these potentials. And of course, it's certified process, development process. And after this assessment, after this results, we recommend for special trainings and coachings where we can help as SIETArians and a trainer coach for this people, to these people. And we are licensed holder of DNLA and ISCA worldwide. Let's see on hand an example how it looks like and how it works. This is according to the different, let's say, perspectives. First, empathy. We have to understand each other and working life. We're working in teams, so we have to understand each other. Resilience, as we saw from this baby, of course, there are up and downs, and we have to prepare for the future. Emotional stability, we need this because sometimes things are not going very gloomy. Self-responsibility, self-confidence, self-esteem. These are all parts or parameters of this assessment. As you can see on the right top, these are results. All these results are compared with the top best candidates. This is an average, and we compare this with the candidates' answers. Let's understand the answers are not seen by us. This is just automated system gives the results here on the right top, and to give us an opinion where the problems are. For example, here you can see self-confidence, initiative -2, and the middle average, it's okay. From that, +1, +2, +3 is much better. On hand of an example for here, we can see this is a candidate, example 1, fictitious. That shows us this is a good candidate on the right top. Has already very good mental requisites and integration training course, for example. The responsibility is a little less, and the systematic mentality, if you see this yellow man. So automatically the system says us what should be done. And afterwards, our training and coach colleagues discuss the situation in a person, individual, or in groups sometimes if needed. And after that, it's a recommendation and building up the potential status awareness, self-responsibility, systematic mentality. And these are done with the educational institutes, and the person coacher supports this individual or the group with the methods. Another example, this participant, a little bit difficult because as you see on the right top, there are a lot of minus, not in the average, below the average. That means it should be done a lot of things with this candidate. First of all, as the system recommends us, because this is a scientific comparison, the lot of people, psychologists, trainer coaches, managers, and all this staff is working on the system to find the best of the best. And so we have an average compared with the candidates. And as we see here, the biggest problem is the person needs psychological support, first of all. And so we recommend, as a trainer coach, intense psychological support through the qualified educational facilities. This is very, very interesting one. And how does it work with the assessment or compared or combination with the authorities? First, the refugee come to Germany, arrival in Germany, and recording all the personal data from these institutes and governmental institutes and authorities. And then we have our admission, and we do the analysis, development cycles about the language course combination with the educational institutes. And if the requirements are met, we recommend for the integration into the labor market. If not, sometimes it's a rejection of a resident permit or not guaranteed. This is the first step. And the process flow in the second stage, this is not just only one, because we need to see the improvement of this candidate of the group. And we do the second time, the analysis development, and see what has developed. And are there some new improvements necessary, and some new progress for the evaluation of success. After that, we recommend new courses, psychological tests, or so on. This is the process, how we go on. And because of this assessment, online assessment, we have, as you see, a ton number, and autonomous. The candidate can log in from a smartphone, from a computer, access this assessment, and then all this data answers. We don't see the answers. This is autonomous, anonymous. Data sets are encoded, encrypted, and delivered to us to create the report. The report is created automatically by the system. We will get this report and analyze and discuss with the candidate, because the candidate has to answer first beginning of this assessment, the current situation. How do you feel? Are you married, or had you children last couple of months? Somebody died, because it's a very big situation, big challenge on the way escaping. Of course, there are people get hurt. So it gives us the current situation analysis. Therefore, it's important to discuss with this candidate about this, or the group. After completion of this DNLA report, the overview, and discuss the results and make some recommendations and putting them into practice. That means recommend them some language courses, some different educational courses, because of course in combination with the institutes, authorities, some people, a lot of them are well-educated people. They have diplomas in engineering and medicine and somewhere. And this has to be accepted from the governmental institutes, and they discuss or recommend this to the authorities. And normal way and our way, the normal way is the first one: arrival, language course, integration, vocational training. But status quo, DNLA approach is in the middle. That means after our arrival and language course, we have to analyze, we have to do this assessment because of this decision criteria determining the future course, psychological medical care, and after that, we recommend to the integration courses and vocational training and some courses. This is very goal-oriented. These are niches what we need before. Otherwise, it is a collapse. Nobody knows how to go on. And as I said before in my presentation, this is not just only done in Germany. We have a lot of projects done, and it's available in such of European languages all over the world. Especially for INSCA, we prepared the development in existing in Arabic. What's very important, because we have a lot of refugees, as we notice, from Arabic countries. So this is a very important language. So it is available in Arabic. The candidates can do the assessment in Arabic language. You see, because of some management courses, assessments, we do this with the companies. There are a lot of very well-known companies, reputable companies, and we have very good cooperations with the governmental institutes, with countries, helping to facilitate the integration of these refugees. And the special tools we have, for example, for the young refugees, to set up the soft skill analysis for the integration classes in the schools, in kindergarten, for example. So this is my part in a short version. In total, I will be appreciated to answer your questions from my side. So thank you very much for attending this webinar. Thank you very much for all of you.
Okay, so hello everybody. We don't have any questions in the chat or questions and answers. What I would like to recommend is, if you have a comment at this point, please feel free to either unmute now and present your question, or simply write something in our chat box. You have thanks from Anne-Claude and from Yannick. Does somebody have a question they would like to ask or a comment? So we have a question here that says, how do you start to work with the refugees? Do you work with private companies who want to enroll refugees, or do you work with the public administration? First question.
Both. We work with the governmental institutions, authorities, because we provide this assessment for refugees. And after our results, we recommend for special courses, educational courses. And then we work with the some educational institutes.
Okay, and we have another question that says, are you thinking of a Kurdish version, as some people from Syria only speak Kurdish?
We don't have at the moment, because we don't have the people they speak and they can translate that. But if you recommend some, of course, why not? But I think the people from Syria would speak Arabic as well. But anyway, this is a situation what we can develop, of course.
And new question, how many candidates have participated in this assessment so far?
There every day a lot of let's say European-wide candidates. Some hundreds of thousands candidates participated to this assessment.
And I'm wondering, this is a question from me, but for example, are you thinking of analyzing the results to arrive at some kind of conclusions about the most common sensitive areas that could possibly lead to programs designed specifically for the most common problems?
Let me say, we have on just the general assessment because of the situation. As I said, this is not a psychological test or characteristic test. This is a social skills assessment. So it's compared with the current situation, position, or the knowledge of this person.
Okay, and we have another question, which is, do you have tools available online?
We often work with the trainers, coaches with a license, because this analysis is, of course, translated to the candidates in such in expertise. So we have to have some courses for the trainer and coaches to understand the analysis and to talk to the people.
Okay, and are you further expanding your project in Germany?
Yes. Still, we working with a lot of governmental institutions in every region. Let's say state in Germany, Berlin, we're very active, especially Bavaria and some other regions.
Okay, and do you have specific contact with the HR departments of institutions and companies?
Yes, this is a solution what we do with the companies as well, because after we did the recommendations and analysis, we work with these educational institutes, which are, of course, working with the private companies. Okay. And myself, I have an HR background as well, and trying to do to get the bridge to these private companies, especially.
Okay, and we have a request. Is it at all possible for us to test ourselves?
Yes.
You have like a trial.
Yes. It is very important. It's a very good question. I will arrange it because we can get some special tons, free tons for our groups, SIETArians.
Yeah.
I will arrange to discuss with our CEO this issue.
Okay, very good. So, we have someone asking if they can participate, learn more, and get involved, and how.
If we, I think it should be organized by ourselves, Linda. because of course there will be a lot of interesting people to support the refugees and to be involved in this issue. If you can get all this interested people, and I will from my side take the bridge to DNLA and discuss this situation, how we can handle that inside from the SIETArians.
Okay, I will then, I know, for example, what I would recommend is that those of you who are interested in further contact with Hakan and learning more, please type your email into the chat box, which I will save at the end, and that way I will be able to communicate it to Hakan. For reasons of protection of personal information, it needs to be you that asks us to contact you. So if you are interested, please type, give me your name and your email in the chat box, and I will use that, communicate it to Hakan afterwards. I have another question here, which is to know what your contacts are, or who your contacts are in the Netherlands.
As I know, I'm not involved in Netherlands, but as I know, is very, very active community colleagues there. I can get some information for the other countries for the colleagues, for SIETArians.
Okay, and then we have a question about educational institutions. How involved are they in developing specific curricula to facilitate the development of social competency?
Very good. We check, of course, all these educational institutes before we work, and from the governmental institutions, and we give together certificates who is able to do this, because you need some people, experts, with maybe some educational background, for immigration background, because this is a very specific situation. So only certified educational institutes can do this.
Okay.
Like trainer and coaches.
Okay. And I have a question from someone who wants to know if you are the contact person for us SIETArians in order to get involved with the project.
First contact, I would be appreciated, myself, and you, Linda.
Okay.
We should organize, because if you have a lot of hundreds of interesting people to contact DNLA, I think it doesn't make any sense. So we have to organize, and first of all, I have to discuss with CEO how can we handle, and how can we do this, the support and collaboration together.
Okay, and I have another question that I find quite interesting, which is, do you have a way to ensure that you have accurate responses and that candidates are not just choosing what they think is the best or the right answer?
Yes. The system is very intelligent, because it's very improved and continuously development. It's no way that somebody can manipulate this with the answers. It's very good.
Okay.
Yeah. We had the experience, and so we developed with psychologists and with psychiatrists and a lot of experts. Every quarter we have new updates, because of time being, a lot of changes are worldwide, so we have to update our knowledge.
And I have something here that says some of the terms and some of the competencies I guess we could consider are culturally defined, culture bound, such as assertiveness. And how do you account for the effect of cultural differences on the outcome?
This is a very good question. So therefore, we have very, very different countries, experts. For example, last year we started in Dubai for Middle East region and North Africa. So there are big, huge differences. So we have to be local to understand the environment and the culture and doing this. So we have worldwide supporters, experts, which are working on this system assessment and continuously.
Okay. And here's an interesting question. What happens to people who fail the test?
This is a decision of the governmental institutes. If we have a result that this person is not very going to be the fastest way to integrate, there's sometimes decline some issues, but we try our best, but it is not our decision. This is an institutional, political, or governmental decision what to do.
Okay. And I have someone who says that there's a European migrant integration lab here in France, and they'd love to be able to talk with you more and exchange about this. As I will be saving the whole chat log, you will then be able to contact them, Hakan.
Yes, we will. In the countries, we will define the contact person, because the headquarters is in Germany for DNLA, and we have, of course, country representatives, and we do that connection with the responsibles of the country, representatives of the country.
Okay, and I have received, and you will see from again from the chat log, that you have several people who are willing to meet you in Munich and talk more about this. And then I have people that are coming back to the question of the culturally bound terms and how do you account for cultural differences affecting your results. And they would like more response, elaboration on your part, because it would seem that the assessments are a bit Western oriented. How would you answer that?
Yeah, the INSCA is not just only Western oriented. We have some special courses or assessments that are done mostly from a European region. But as I said, we started last year with Middle East and North African countries. It is a development, continuous development, and we are learning ourselves, of course, of different cultures and situations. And we will love to cooperate with people who have this expertise, knowledge of different different cultures and religions, of course, parameters.
Okay, and we still have coming back to the question of what happens to traumatized people who fail the test. Are they just kind of rejected by the administration?
This, as I said, if we have the result that this person needs a lot of time for development, this is what we can do, just given the results. And this is the issue, the decision of governmental institutes, and see for a young people, for example, possibilities to develop long term. So it's not done by us. Just we are doing this results, the current situation, and the decision is made not but by us.
Okay, and we have another question saying that the model was built for the current situation, but do you think it can be efficiently used for Africa?
Pretty sure, because we have, this is collected information of all the current situation of the people. So if you compare with hundreds of peoples in average, you can imagine the candidate will be a little bit better, or maybe a little bit less in let's say the current situation, and so we have to recommend for developments. On North Africa, we have the experience now since some couple months, a year, to compare. We in a database of candidates for a specific situation with refugees.
Okay, and then I have a comment here about the cost. We noted in the PowerPoint that it says 70 euros per test, and this seems to be a bit expensive.
This is not paid by the candidates. This is paid by the European foundations, and I don't know where you find this figure. Depends on each assessment. There are not just one assessments, and as I said, I don't know where you get this figure.
It was in the PowerPoint where you gave I can't remember, in the graph, the flow chart showing the different steps, and there was a little note on the bottom that said 70 euros for the test.
Okay.
Sorry. just reading what it said. And so this is paid by I would ask myself then, this is paid by the administration. And is it an overall package of 70 euros per participant, no matter how many tests they have to take? Or is it 70 euros per test?
Yeah, this is not paid by the candidate, of course. As I said, there are foundations from the European institutes, European, let's say, this is not paid by the candidate. Okay.
And I have a question. How would you compare this to the IDI, Interculturally Development Index, is someone's question.
This is a really good question. Now the time shows it's finished. Just a minute. So, of course, we have some parameters in this assessment, some specific cultural parameters we build in, and we are developing continuously the information with experts.
Okay, but you haven't looked at it in comparison to the IDI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, we have to, because there are a lot of big cultural differences from the north part of Africa and the south and the middle, and or Middle East, or the people, refugees coming from very different cultures and locations. It's important.
Okay, and I have a note here that says that the cost for not performing these tests is probably much higher than the 70 euros for taking the test. We have, yes, sorry.
I couldn't get now your question.
Okay, that was all. Just someone commented on, to go back to the question of cost, and said that in fact it is probably much more expensive not to have this type of test. Okay, we have people who are logging off. And here we go. Are there any plans to use the results of these tests to develop training programs for employees and management?
Yes. This is INSCA. It's just a special tool for refugees. We have a lot of different tools for companies done by our experts. For example, management social skills for CEO or departments, logistic department, purchase department. These are very specific different tools what we use in normal companies. This is possible.
Okay, and we have a question. Are you by any chance going to be presenting at the Congress in Dublin, Hakan? Or at a later date?
Let's see. We are beginning the new year and a lot of schedules business way as well. I would love, but how to handle all these issues? Well, let's see what we can do. But the first of all, I will thank you very much. We should organize maybe a call with our CEO of the founder of the company, DNLA, in Germany headquarters, and what we can do, how we can handle all these supports as SIETArians all over Europe, all over the world. I'm pretty sure it is possible, and we will discuss it with you, Linda.
Okay. All right. So, any further last comments before we close for today? I want to say thank you to all of you for joining. The recording will be available, and I will give you my sincere apologies because I took just about a minute to start the recording. And the last thing that I would like to say to everyone is remind you that our next webinar will be held on February 2nd at 1 p.m. CET. That's a Thursday. And it will be on intercultural coaching and using a personal development approach. That will be with Roberta Raffaelli and Henina Andino Dorato. So thank you all very, very much, and look forward to spending time with you at another date. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.